Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Too Hot for Love,
a reality show dating podcast where we recap and react to whatever show is out there right now.
This time we are doing Milf Manor Season 2. I'm Saige Ryan.
And I'm Kendelle Lynn.
And we love trash TV.
Yes, we do!
Be sure to like the video and subscribe for more. We're going to be recapping every episode of this season. You can click that little bell to get notified when we post a new video. There's lots of fun stuff on the channel. And let us know what your predictions are for this season in the comments. And we will come back and we'll see if you were right or wrong.
Hello, Saige.
Hi, Kendelle.
What did we just watch?
We just watched the season premiere of Milf Manor, Season 2.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good time.
We both have an unhealthy obsession with reality dating shows in particular.
Yes.
Honestly, the rest of the reality TV genre just doesn't hit the same for me as dating shows.
No, there's something more exciting about two people you know aren't into each other in real life, but are forced to be into each other for a show.
Which is the perfect description of Milf Manor.
It really is. I thought we had it this season too.
And we could still have it this season.
Yeah.
We're going to tell you all about the first episode. So today we're going to be recapping the season premiere. We're going to be recapping Season 2, Episode 1 of Milf Manor. What did you think of the first season of Milf Manor?
I loved the idea of Milf Manor. You can just tell throughout the whole season that these men, or I should say these boys, are just not into older women.
They're not.
I feel like that kind of ruined the show because you really wanted to see them just, I don't know, I wanted to see them make out. I wanted to see them really fight for like this older woman.
Yeah.
And it never happened.
It never happened at all. It really didn't. It was very strange because it was like, I guess it's a really difficult setup to find people who are like, TV's idea of traditionally attractive moms and sons that are both into either younger or older people and willing to go on TV about it. Like, that's a difficult criteria to try to meet.
Especially if you're trying to find people who are related.
Yeah.
It like might be easier if like you just kept the relations out and, you know, but
which we might find out about this season.
Yes.
So I guess that's the big start of Milf Manor Season 2 is currently, as far as we know, it's not their sons.
It's not.
I mean, we know these people aren't. They're not going to reveal that these people are their sons.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Oh, by the way, that's our son. I forgot to mention.
By the way, I've been dating your son.
Yeah.
You've been dating my son.
Yeah. By the way, that was my son you licked. Hey, can we talk? It's just, I don't know. I guess I thought it was kind of weird when you started licking my son.
I thought it was really weird that you kept saying my son was a grower, not a shower.
Oh my God. Okay, we're going to recap the whole episode, obviously. You're going to find out who said someone was a grower, not a shower, who was getting licking.
Oh.
But let's meet the contestants.
Yes.
Shall we? So we're going to start with the ladies of Milf Manor Season 2. First up, we have Barbie. Barbie is 45 years old and currently the star of the show.
Oh, Barbie.
Barbie's the star.
She's so into people.
Everything.
Like,
Men.
She's into men.
Yeah.
She's into knowing she's into men and that men are into her. She just knows she looks good. She looks young. She looks fresh.
She does. She has great tattoos.
Yes.
She's very hot.
Very flirty.
And she knows it.
So flirtatious.
She's so flirtatious. She's definitely so far like the most forward in the pack. Her description here is Barbie used to be a stripper, but she has mostly changed that now as she's a marketing executive. How do you mostly?
Wait, how do you mostly?
I think she strips for fun now.
I think she strips for fun at the office holiday party.
Uh-oh. I liked it until then. I was like, hell yeah. Honestly, just pick up a shift on a weekend sometime.
Yeah, you
Make
could.
a little extra cash, you know what I mean? And then you were like at the office holiday party and I was like, well, hold on. Actually, that is sexual harassment.
No, if she tells everyone ahead of time, be
Yeah.
like, hey, I'll be in this room. Go in there if you want to see me strip. Maybe it's fine.
I've been to that kind of party and they are not fun. It's not a good time. It says, however, she admits that she is still no stranger to drama and she isn't afraid to speak her mind, even if it gets her into trouble. Luckily, she has a positive outlook on most things and she isn't afraid to let loose, which may be why she's on the search for a younger man to sweep her off her feet.
And we can see that.
Yeah.
It comes through really clearly.
Her, like, first scene with the men, she is sitting on someone's lap. She just
Yes.
she just sat on down on somebody.
And they loved it.
They loved it. Of course they did.
And of course, we'll talk about this later. That boy, I forgot. You know what? I actually can't even remember what boy it was. That boy was talking to a different woman.
Yeah. And she just like came in and sat down.
Yeah.
She's going to cause some problems this
Pretty
season. Which is going to be exciting. Next up, we have Christina. I'm like showing you these because I know we're not going to remember whose name
Christina's
is what.
the one she was, I think, was like cucking.
Yeah.
Was cock blocking. So...
Christina is 46 years old. She was married for 20 years since she was in her 20s. Now, however, she is once again looking for Mr. Right, even if he happens to be several years her junior. Several is a delicate way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay. And if he can keep up with her, since she loves a solid night out dancing, she isn't afraid to admit it. She's ready to find a new man to connect with, but will that be one of the young bucks on Milf Manor or a man closer to her age?
So far, it's the youngest of the bucks.
Yeah. Yeah, she chose
bucks.
wee baby boy.
Mm-hmm. And
so
that's
far.
Most of what we know about her, it's one, she just gets cock blocked by Barbie.
Yeah.
And two, she's into really young men.
Yeah.
Or chooses at least the youngest one.
Everybody gets cock-blocked by Barbie, though, a little bit.
That's true.
At the end of the day, all of us will get cock-blocked by Barbie. Up next is Crystal.
Ooh, love Crystal.
We both immediately were like, ooh, Crystal. Okay. Crystal is hot. She's confident. Kendall made a very strong prediction at the front of the season before we started watching the episode. What was it?
I thought titties would be swinging. And let me tell you, titties were swinging.
They're swinging this season.
Yeah, and honestly, I love your body, Crystal.
Yeah, damn.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you came out with a dress that had some underboob too. Ooh,
Oh, so
love.
good. Love her.
Oh, how old is Crystal?
She's 48.
48.
She has also already been cock-blocked by Barbie.
That's so true. And it almost felt like a double cock block.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad.
I just said double.
I don't know what else to say, guys.
Yeah, it was rough. They went out on a double date, and it was a tough situation.
Yeah.
But we'll come back around to that as well. So while Crystal is certainly here for a good time, she also understands that life is short and precious since she lost her son. They got to have one sad story on a reality show. Somebody's got to have a real world sad story. She's ready to settle down with someone now, provided, of course, that they can keep up with her busy lifestyle. When Crystal isn't working as a makeup artist, she can be found out dancing or taking a cooking class. That's a lot of cooking classes. That's it. If she's not at work, she is at a cooking class.
Yeah. You know, okay, you bring up the makeup artist thing. I didn't catch that while we were watching.
No.
But, like, her makeup was on point. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah, it's really good.
And she understood what, like, hairstyle she needed.
Yeah.
Damn, Crystal, you just look good.
Yeah, damn, Crystal. They say, with how active she is, Crystal might just prefer one of the younger men this season.
Ooh.
This is from a Distractify article. Up next, we have Jamie, 51. Now, Jamie's on the older side so far of what we've gotten, which is very interesting because when I picture the word MILF, I'm picturing 50 plus.
Yes, correct. Same.
You know? So I'm like, this 51 should not be, like, I don't know if she's the oldest, but she might be.
Yeah. No, I think she's second oldest.
Yeah. So, before Milf Manor, Jamie was married and divorced 2 times. She also has 3 adult children, but that hasn't stopped Jamie from wanting to try and find love yet again. She has a positive outlook. A lot of these people have positive outlooks and attitude on most things. And to be honest, she could be a hot commodity this season among the men and her fellow MILFs, as Jamie is definitely one to make friends wherever she goes. That's a sweet description.
That is.
We didn't see a lot of her in this episode.
We did not. The first thing we said about her in the beginning was, oh, she might be the troublesome one.
I don't know what it was. She just came out really hot.
She came out really hot, really like almost like go-getter party.
Yeah, she came out real party girl energy.
And then we kind of just lost her throughout the episode.
I think there's still time for her to start shit.
I know, I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, no, so yeah, we've definitely exceeded her age. We've got Kelly, 59.
Yes.
So Kelly is 59. As the oldest MILF in season 2, it's just a funny way to put it, Kelly feels anything but that. Though she grew up with a feeling of being an outsider with low self-esteem, she now has come out of her shell in a major way, and she is ready to show off her healthy lifestyle of teaching Pilates and making smoothies.
Making smoothies.
That's a lifestyle, I guess. She's also ready to finally settle down with someone, though we suspect that settling down won't be taken literally with Kelly.
Okay.
Okay, a little bit of judgment on Kelly there. Okay, settle down.
Is that the end of it?
That's it.
It didn't mention
Kelly.
she had such a weird smell. I don't want to call it a fetish. It wasn't a fetish.
It was almost an aversion more than anything.
It was.
So, multiple times throughout the episode, we see this in like the initial like coming up on Milf Manor. We see this in her intro. We see her mention it again later. She is very concerned with people that specifically smell old, not just like smells. Because like, look, as somebody who's got my own little spot on the spectrum, like I understand. Like sensory issues.
Yes.
So if it was like smells are a problem, I'm like, fair enough, bud.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
But it was like not even like smell bad hygiene wise.
No.
It was just smell old. And she always mentioned how like she doesn't smell old and she wants someone who doesn't smell old. And that's why she goes for like younger men because they smell young, I guess.
I think
it's like just smell not old. I don't even know if it's smell young or smell good.
Have you ever dated someone that smelled old?
I don't think so.
I guess I haven't dated that old.
Yeah, what? Maybe we should talk about it.
Like I've dated older, but not old.
Yeah, I'll say this.
Yeah.
I was 25 dating a 40-year-old. 40 isn't old. To some people it is.
Right.
40 isn't old, but I didn't think there was like an old smell from like a middle-aged
I was also 25 dating a 40-year-old. Also the exact same age. But that's not gonna smell old.
No.
You
know, quick story though. I thought 40-year-olds would understand how to talk to waiters. And like the person I dated for like it was like almost a few months, almost a year, a couple months.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, you're old enough to know you should be nice to waiters. And
but
it wasn't
also,
like mean. It was just like almost impatient.
Yeah.
I was like, even that gives me the ick.
Okay, but hear me out. That age goes right into the very, very tail end. That's Gen X.
Oh, that's true.
And you know what Gen X has?
Entitlement.
Lead poisoning.
Okay.
It's true.
You're right. Maybe it was lead poisoning.
Lead poisoning erodes the part of your brain that
Like
creates empathy. It is. It's real. And there was lead in everything. It was in like the paint. Every time they filled up their car.
It's currently in Stanley cups.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna chalk it up to lead poisoning.
Yeah, they probably just had a little bit of lead. A little bit too much lead exposure as a wee lad.
Yeah, okay, let's move
on to the next one. We do have more. We have Lynette. Lynette is 50. Lynette was married once before. We have... okay, yeah, it's good. Lynette was married once before, but because she married someone when she was pretty young, she never quite got the opportunity to see what else was out there. Now she knows what she wants in a man, and she wants to settle down with someone new. It also helps that Lynette is super confident and ready to go after the right man. Do we suspect some potential drama with the other MILFs? For the sake of an entertaining season, we sort of hope so. Hey, Distractify, settle down.
Do I remember a lot about Lynette?
No.
I don't.
No. I remember her smile.
I do remember
She's
her
a very
smile.
prominent smile.
Yes.
But not a lot about her, honestly. We didn't see a lot of her in the challenge.
Oh, that's especially we didn't see her in the challenge.
Yeah.
That's very true. I do remember she like pops up every now and then. It's not like our other girl that just stayed in the front and then kind of trailed off. I do remember seeing Lynette throughout the whole episode.
She was around.
Yeah, but
it's only one episode so far, so
Yeah.
she just hasn't made any big moves. I think the people that we remember are the people who are already making connections.
yes.
You know what I mean? We remember them in like their little dates in pairs, and she hasn't made a connection to anybody that we know of yet. But let's talk about who she could be making a connection to. Let's talk about the boys. So, in the previous season of Milf Manor, the big reveal, of course, was that the pool of boys for them to date was all of their sons, and they were all dating each other's sons, and that was gross and fantastic.
Gross. They definitely weren't into them at all. No one was into anyone, honestly.
No. It was not good.
It wasn't.
It was genuinely like not a very good season of reality TV.
Some
but
of
we
them,
came back for another.
Yeah, some of them attractive, some of them not.
No, yeah.
You know,
I would say the men are better looking this season.
They are,
I think
and
the
I
men are better
appreciate
looking.
that.
The last season they did all look so young that it was just so ick to me.
Yes.
Like I just can't. We do have some slightly older guys this season, but we'll talk about the older guys.
Yes.
But first up, we have Christopher, who is 27. Christopher's handsome.
He was handsome. He was the first one to come out of the boat.
Yeah.
And I think it was a good choice for the first one to come out of the boat.
I agree. They needed to put him up first.
They
They're
really
like, we
did.
promise we did better this season.
Yeah.
I also love the difference between how we were about the women when we're like, oh, she's hot. Like, oh, I love her body, the under boob. And this guy who's like the best looking of the options, we're like,
We're like,
he's
oh,
handsome.
okay, he's great. Yeah.
He's handsome. Like, yeah.
I just don't know how many like really handsome men you can get for a show like this.
No.
Who are willing to show the fact that they're like into
MILFs.
MILFs.
Yeah.
So
Chris is an MMA fighter, described as an MMA fighter and ladies' man, but despite that, he's ready to settle down with a woman long term. He also respects women with confidence, with which he'll find plenty in Milf Manor. Now, he's the guy who came out and was like, I like Mexican women. I like Asian women. I like black women. I like white. Like,
he
made
was
such a long
naming
list.
just everything.
And it felt like, I feel like he wanted to start out and be like, I like Hispanic women. Like, I feel like he wanted to say that and then
Yes.
was like, oh no, should I say
More?
everyone else?
Should I like
too?
not give myself a type so it doesn't seem like I'm like not inclusive to who I date?
Right.
It's fine to just say you like Hispanic
Yeah,
women.
like that's okay. But it went on for a long time.
It did. He named everything in the book, I swear.
I really do. I have a deep love in my heart for editors of reality TV.
Yes.
And when they know to let something go on too long. Like, I feel like really watching reality TV, they say, like, you know, like the stage is like what? It's like the stage is the actor's medium,
Yes.
film is like a director's medium, and TV is like a writer's medium. I think reality TV is the editor's medium. And really, this is a conversation between us and the editor. And the editor's feelings about them is really what comes through.
It's true.
In every reality TV show, like, we are watching each other through the screen and then being like, yeah, I'm gonna let that one hang. I'm gonna let that one go on for a bit. We're cutting the music there. We're just gonna let them go.
Man, and
And
they
I
just
loved it.
they let him run.
They really did. Up next we have Jacob. Jacob is our Brit.
Oh, yes.
Our Brit of the season. Yeah, we're literally having to look at the photos because none of these men, we didn't retain a single boy's name.
No, we didn't.
So Jacob is another athlete in Milf Manor Season 2 cast, or should we say
British.
former athlete. He used to play semi-professional cricket, the most British thing on the planet.
Yes.
And therefore has a naturally competitive spirit. He also prefers to stay as active as possible, so as long as he can find a MILF with the same values, he could find lasting love this season.
And they did definitely push that conversation through. He definitely was talking about how he's just a super active man. So
Yeah. We liked him when he arrived.
yes.
And then we saw him on a date, and we were like, eh. Like, he got a little bit of the ick.
Yeah, I got a little ick.
I got a
There
little
was
ick.
there
It
was
a
like
big ick.
a part where they all like were running out of the house shirtless, and you could just see how he got a little sunburnt. And I was like, oh, that's kind of an ick for me. But now I get it. We'll talk about this later, but you can definitely tell they were told not to put sunscreen on or something.
I guess for the challenge.
Yeah.
Up next we have Joey.
Oh, Joey.
Joey is our baby of the season. Joey's only 21 years old.
A baby. A baby.
And like, it shows.
It does.
You know
The
what
way
I mean?
he speaks to women, the way
Yeah.
he looks at women, the questions he's asking. Sir, it's okay to say you're a virgin if you are. It's fine to be a virgin.
Joey has never had sex. Like,
He's
it's just
never
simply
had
he's
sex.
never had sex.
Yes.
Oh, we got a couple of insights into that, I feel like.
Yes.
Most of all, the hot tub. The hot tub scene. The hot tub scene with Joey made it so clear that this is the closest he has ever been to a woman with the least clothing on that he's ever had.
And I also appreciate the editors here. Again, we'll bring in the editors.
Yeah.
They did not give us any like intro to the conversation. They went straight from go in the hot tub with me to are you into BDSM in the hot tub? And it's like, oh, okay.
Okay,
We'll just
sure.
go right into this.
And he does not know what those letters stand for.
I don't think he does.
I think, hey, for the people who date men that are listening to this, which I would bet is on, like, probably most. Like, I don't think a lot of people who don't are watching this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That's true.
Regardless of gender. For the people who date men, if a man says, that he is into BDSM or asks if you are, ask him what it means. Ask him to break down the acronym.
Yeah.
He's not allowed to participate unless he knows all of the words and what they mean.
Especially if they're as young as Joey is. He does not know what BDSM. Also, he kept saying he loved dating older women.
Yeah.
How old were you when you started dating older women? And
Starting when?
what age is the eldest woman you've dated?
That's the thing. Because last season, every time they got asked, it was like, oh yeah, I've only dated women that are like a couple years older than me. And it's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
What are you doing here? What's the point of this?
A couple years as in like you're a freshman in college and they were a senior in college?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't count.
That does not
That doesn't count.
Joey has admitted to being at the center of some dramatic love triangles before, and that makes him the perfect addition to Milf Manor. However, his very well-traveled father might... this one went right into his father. Be here to put a damper on Joey's otherwise confident spirit. I mean, a little bit of a spoiler. Their dads are here.
Their dads
are here. We're going to talk about all their dads.
Yes.
I'm wondering if we should have talked about the boys with their dads as we went.
No, I think we could...
This is a long list.
Yeah.
I apologize, y'all. But we're almost done.
Yeah.
Up next, we have Miles, who is 24. Miles is the other one who's like pretty handsome. Yeah.
The last one out of the boat, which I thought was also a good thing to do.
Strong opening, strong closing.
Mm-hmm. Sandwiched the mediocre men with the very attractive men. So
Miles might look like he's a heartbreaker, but if he is, it's probably unintentional. He's a laid-back guy who loves older women and the maturity they bring to a relationship. He's looking for someone who values a healthy lifestyle as much as him. And there are certainly some active MILFs here to strike his fancy. The use of the word MILF in these is so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
All of these guys are like, I'm looking for somebody active.
Yes.
Do we feel like that's just like coded fat phobia?
Oh my gosh, 100%.
I think it's just like very thinly veiled fat phobia. I think it's just like I want skinny MILFs.
100%.
Right?
I think so. Because like when you think of like an older woman, like the general notion is like, oh, they're like not active. They have like loose skin. They smell bad or whatever. And I think there's like this weird thing they're doing on the show where they're like, everyone's active, everyone's attractive, everyone.
Here's the thing: if you were really into MILFs, you'd be into that.
You would be so into that.
You would be into. You want the skin a little looser. You know what I mean?
Right though?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you just want an older woman who looks like a young woman, you're not into older women.
Yeah.
You're not into older women.
No. What are they doing for you?
And then I think lastly, truly.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not even gonna. Sam is 24 years old. Sam.
He came on. I'm not gonna let you read this. He came on with a khaki pants, light blue, long sleeve, button-up shirt from a boat. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
The vibes were rancid.
The vibes were not there. What were you doing?
He has a troublesome vibe to me. I'm not a fan. I don't like the energy that he's creating in the studio this evening. I don't feel good. I instinctively did cover my drink when he came on screen. And he hasn't done anything.
We haven't learned anything about him.
He hasn't done anything.
It's just kind of, you can just feel it through the screen.
I
hope he changes our minds though.
I really do. We've got a whole season to come around and love Sam, but currently Sam's vibes are a little Ben Shapiro.
A little bit.
They're a little Ben
I think if he came in a different outfit, it might have been.
It might have been. You
know, but
Sam prides himself on being a bit more mature than other men his age. Because of that, he tends to be more attracted to older women than ladies in their 20s like him. Will that transfer to a lasting relationship with one of the MILFs, though? That remains to be seen.
All right.
So,
the twist.
After we saw a little bit of time of these women connecting with their boys, it happens. It has to happen every season. Milf Manor had to find a new one because obviously the people would have seen last season.
Yes.
And all through the episode, they're like, oh my God, my son.
My son loves that.
Oh no, my son's super protective. My son is in college. And I'm like, oh man, they're setting it up that like, you thought you got out of it and your sons are coming here. But no. The boys' dads are here.
Which I think is a great twist.
A great twist. We were literally screaming.
Good. We did scream. So they were like throughout the whole episode, they were showing us little snippets of like people getting out of a car and the woman going, what's happening? Oh
Uh-huh.
my God. And we were like, it's their sons.
Yeah.
Their sons are coming.
It's got to be their sons.
And then at the very end, you see little sneak peeks of their head.
Yeah.
And then there's just one shot. You can tell it's two older gentlemen. And you automatically are like, it's their dads!
We were like, is it their ex-husbands?
Yes.
Or is it their dads? And it was the dads.
And you can tell it was their dads just
Yeah.
through,
the boys' reactions
Yeah.
too. Oh my God. And here's what I'll say. There are some hot dads.
They're hot dads.
Some hot dads. I don't know how you would look at that room of men, of all of them together, and be like, yes, I'll take
The 21-year-old.
And this is not an insult on Joey's looks. It's that
No.
he's a little boy.
He's the
He's a
youngest, and you
young
can
man.
tell he's the youngest.
Yeah, he is a young man.
I'm excited to see what his dad's like.
I'm so excited.
I hope his dad's like, ew, what the fuck's BDSM?
I feel like he's gonna be like, you don't know what BDSM is.
Son, you still live at home.
Joey, honey,
Joey.
Bubby,
Joey.
Mushbuga,
Oh my gosh. Do you think his dad also talks the way Joey talks? I must. Oh my gosh.
So his dad is the only one that gets mentioned in his bio.
That's true.
So it seems like his dad is like Tony Stark. I don't know.
I hope.
It's giving, so it says at the end of Joey's bio, which is very short, it says his very well-traveled father might be here to put a damper on Joey's otherwise confident spirit, which means this dude is super insecure around his dad.
Yes. You can tell that Joey's insecure.
Yeah.
There was a part where they're all talking on a couch just about like women in the kitchen or just like waking up in the morning and making breakfast. And Joey automatically had to just say his opinion. Like it felt like there was no breath in between whoever last said something and Joey.
And he had to jump in to insult women his age,
And
too.
he did. Oh my gosh.
Because he thinks he's doing something mature by being like, yeah, this is why I like older
that's why
women.
I like you because
Yeah.
like it's like the whole like backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't have to tear someone down to uplift someone else.
He was like, girls my age are just like so in competition with each other.
Yeah.
And like, there's not this like supportive spirit like you guys had. Like everyone helping each other out this morning when we were all like
Yeah.
making breakfast and stuff. Like, girls my age would probably still be up in their rooms.
Yeah.
Blah. And you see all the women's faces.
They're
Because
like-
these are like adult women
yeah.
who like have survived men in their 20s already. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you've been here.
Survived
and they all
men
were
in
like,
their 20s, survived men in their 30s.
every one of their faces was like, ooh,
Ugh.
rough.
Okay.
And then I think it was Crystal who was like, yeah, well, this conversation's a little different.
Yes, actually, yes.
And I loved
I think
it.
Crystal, that's when we found out Crystal is like sexually active because she like moved the conversation to just being, I think like women who are older know what they like in bed.
Yeah.
And that's why they need someone who's younger to like,
Keep up.
Keep up with them in
She was
bed.
like, they keep us young.
like
And I'm
thanks for
like,
changing the conversation.
also, ew.
Ew.
Also icky.
All right.
So Anthony is Joey's dad, and we don't have to like go through all of the
Yeah.
dads. I feel like because we haven't really gotten to know anything
Yeah.
about the dads yet. But I do think it's very interesting, like in this, because it says Anthony was born in Italy, but he lives in Saudi Arabia, but he has lived in Saudi Arabia and Africa, among other places. He's a confident man himself, not unlike his son. I thought I was going to say not like his son.
Yeah.
He was married before, but he's been divorced for 7 years, which means for him, he's ready to settle down again. So these
Ooh.
dads fully know that they are coming in to compete with their sons.
100%.
And it means like there's a certain energy that you see between like guys and their fathers. There's like a certain type of energy of like a certain
Yes.
relationship that would go on this where the dads are like, let me fucking show you. Like they would be willing to be in competitions with their sons for women. And
Insane.
like, I feel like they've nailed it. I feel like these
100%.
people are going to be vile.
But this makes me like kind of wary of, are these boys actually into MILFs?
Right.
You
Because
know?
if you had to find people that would, and their
Yes.
dad's willing to go,
Mhm.
I don't know. So far, they definitely seem more into MILFs than last
They
season.
do. We got some makeouts.
We
which
got
is
some
nice.
makeouts. Lots of makeouts.
Yeah.
I feel like people gave like a peck last season, and that was like the
Yes.
extent of it. Like
And you're
nobody
like,
was doing
"Ooh."
anything.
You didn't even want to get like 2 inches from their face.
No.
But this season they're like, let me bite your butt,
Oh my god.
Joey.
Let's
Joey.
do it. Let's just
let's go through
dive
that.
into
Let's go
Joey.
through the episode. Okay.
So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, we go. You want to go just from the top of the
Let's
episode
go
in
through
order?
the top of the episode.
yeah,
Yeah.
I remember what happened.
Okay, so the women come in. That's great.
Yeah. Women come in. Every time the women are alone before the men get there on a reality show, I'm just like, are you sure you guys don't just want to date each other? You guys are all attractive, accomplished, confident
Mhm.
women
Know what you
in
want.
bikinis.
Oof.
You could just, hey, before the guys get here, let's all just consider it. Everybody look around and be like, are we sure we want to wait for 21-year-old men instead of kissing each other. And then unfortunately, they do all decide to wait for the 21-year-old man.
Yeah. To the point where they're like, where are the men? It's like, you don't need them, guys.
I can simply never relate to liking them that much.
Fun reveal, the boys came in a boat.
Yeah.
That was exciting for us. I don't know why, like, them coming in from a distance in a boat was exciting, but
it's also because it's so reality TV.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so iconically reality television to ride them up on a boat.
Do you feel like, so there are 6 women, 5 men.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like a man and his dad dropped, or do you think they always wanted to have a lesser number?
I think they wanted to have a lesser number. Last season, they were sending people home.
Yes.
So I think it's going to be whoever doesn't end up like making a connection pretty quickly is going home.
Because there are double the men now.
Yeah.
So that's true.
I think there's going to be more women too.
You think?
They added last season. They added a duo last season.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They added
Okay.
a mother and son. So I think they're going to add more women. I don't know how many, but I think there's at
Ooh.
least one more woman coming.
That's exciting.
Because now we've got 10 men and 6 women.
Yes.
So it's like, I think somebody is going home and new people are coming in.
That's
but I don't
very
know if any new men are
exciting.
coming in.
Probably. I
There's
don't know
enough.
if I would bring new men in.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think
Because
there's
that's
new
already a
MILFs.
lot. And it's like all age ranges. Anyway.
Yeah. 2 more MILFs
so
is my prediction.
the men came.
Yeah.
They're
immediately
okay.
We got, honestly, here's where things get so weird because it's a bunch of women like grabbing their faces like they're like nephews.
There was like a scene where they were saying like, hi, nice to meet you. And it felt like, I'm so glad you can come to the family reunion.
Yeah.
And it was,
Yeah.
ooh, I don't know. That doesn't like set sexual chemistry for me right away.
No, it does not. It's giving like, look how much you've grown.
No, yeah, she held his face as if she was saying, I haven't seen you in 7 years.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. You're tall just like your father.
Yes.
From there, we got a little bit of mingling. We got a little bit of we got a lot of Barbie.
A lot of Barbie, a lot of cock blocking.
Yeah. And then they got the text. They all have their little matching cell phones, and they get the texts with the challenges throughout it. The first challenge came in, and they said that one person would be designated as a host.
Yes.
And the others would be competing in a physical challenge.
I loved. Oh, and they all like decided who they were gonna pick for like
I think they pulled names.
They pulled
out.
it. Yeah, they pulled names out of a little bucket just to who they partner with. I love that Barbie was left out.
Yeah.
I think it created just the right amount of drama.
It was.
I don't know if that was planned or if that actually is how it happened.
Because she's the horniest one there so far.
One.
And this
left
challenge
out.
was going to be very physical with their partners, and she was devastated to not be in it.
Saige, tell them why. Tell them why they were devastated. What was the challenge?
In this challenge, they would be using bottles labeled Milf maple syrup and pouring them over their partner's body, and then waddling and crab walking and lifting each other across a field to try and then scrape the honey off of their bodies into a jar to fill it. And by the end of the time limit, the person who had successfully gotten the most honey from one side to the other would win a private date.
Yes.
We saw
a lot of strategies as to how to get the most maple syrup in this bucket.
Yeah.
A lot of it was like scraping it off their legs. Some of it was using their boobs as like almost like
the smart way.
Yes, the smart way. A handmade bucket. A handmade bucket. Your own body bucket.
Yeah, a little body bucket action. We were sitting there talking about what the best way would be, but we watched this with the Discord with our audience, and people were pointing out that the boys were trying to win and the women were just trying to have a good time. And having fun in this challenge looked like rubbing up and down on each other.
Yes.
Licking.
Ooh.
Crystal. Our girl.
Crystal. I don't know what she saw that made her just start licking. I forgot his name. Chris? That literally, I don't know what Crystal saw.
She started
to make her start licking this man,
back.
Like legit, like they were like,
Chris.
scraping off Chris's back, and then all of a sudden it was just like, and the camera had such a perfect shot
Oh my
of
God,
it.
it was ridiculous.
The best angle to see her licking this man.
And Barbie was so furious.
Oh my
so
God.
jealous.
A little horny girl on the side of the field.
And she's giving like a play-by-play essentially because she's hosting the game, right?
Yes.
So mostly she's just like telling people what they have to do and then just like waiting there. And she clearly gets bored while she's hosting. And she goes up and starts like, licking people's partners.
You can see her like prancing to other men, and like she just, I forgot his name, the British one. Just no, it's so hard.
That's Jacob.
Jacob. She goes up straight up to Jacob, and she just sticks her tongue out, which prompts him to stick his tongue out, and they touch tongues. And then she goes, "No, I wanted your nose."
It's so weird. It's so much. It was simply so much.
Yes.
It was too much. And then she's like describing how horny it's making her to watch this.
And then surprise, she gets a date anyway.
Yeah. So the winners were Crystal
and Chris.
And Chris.
Right?
Yeah.
Crystal
that's
and Chris.
Oh, that's funny. So Crystal and Chris won their date because they got the most honey off of each other's bodies into the jar.
Maple syrup.
Yeah, sorry. I keep saying honey. I don't know where that went to. It's Milf maple syrup, obviously.
It kind of looked like honey on them.
Yeah, maybe that's it. The Milf maple syrup into the jars. And then for hosting, Barbie also gets to pick somebody. Now, the other ones didn't even get to pick. They got paired.
Yes.
And she gets to pick somebody to go on a date, which means she can snatch somebody's man. And she does.
We thought she was going to pick Chris just from how she was talking throughout the episode prior, but she ends up picking Jacob.
Who is the nose that she licked. That is the Brit boy. And
all the women are pissed.
Yeah, genuinely. Everybody's upset because they're like, she didn't even have to work for it, which was very funny because it looked like they were greatly enjoying it.
Oh my gosh, 100%.
And she's like, I wanted to be in this challenge.
Was this hard labor for you? No, you're having fun.
You were getting carried and licked. Come on
Wait,
now.
I want to talk about one more way they were trying to shove these buckets or this maple syrup in buckets. There was a time you can tell they all started looking at each other and figuring out the best strategy.
Yeah.
And the strategy was to put, these men were in like Canada flag Speedos, by the way.
Full out Speedos.
So like they would put their sack in the bucket and then scrape from their chest down, making their sack
a funnel.
And I was like, and then these cameras are in these.
I was genuinely shocked. Considering this airs on actual television, I was shocked by how much junk cam we got.
Yes.
That was a lot of close up on junk.
So much.
Now, who was it that said the line?
I think it was Jacob and whoever he was with, I think.
Okay. Jacob was referred to as a grower, not a shower. By one of the MILFs.
Yes.
Who was paired with him for the challenge.
Might have been opposite now I'm thinking about it. I don't know. So someone said that he was a grower, not a shower, and he had a package because, they're in Speedos. And he goes, "No, am not." Like he's like, "No, I'm not." So maybe they said he's a shower, not a grower.
Well,
and he's trying to say he grows more than this.
Well, I think that's what that means. A grower, not a shower means you're not showing much right now.
Yeah. But like she was like, he's packing. So that must be like, wait, I don't. Is he saying
the hand
he
motions
is bigger?
you're doing right now?
I know, right?
For those who are listening in audio form, the video's worth it.
Like
for the hand motion.
I just like remember her being like, "Ooh, like look at his package," and what is he saying no to?
I am so curious.
Yeah.
What the context of that was, because also reality show editing.
Yes, it was just so hard to watch that I couldn't like really pick up what they're truly saying because I had to look away a lot.
Yeah, it was yucky. It was a yucky little challenge.
Yes.
It was pretty gross, and people were doing a lot of stuff, and I don't know, the sensory of syrup all over people was really
insane.
Really gross. But the date happens.
The date.
So Barbie and Crystal get to take their dates to a
restaurant.
It looked like a makeshift restaurant. It fully was like they are somewhere else in the house, and they've put a little table in front of them and brought menus.
It seemed like at the driveway. Yeah. It literally looked like the driveway to me.
It feels like this season they are low budget. They're shooting in Canada, which like no shade to Canada, but it is cheaper to shoot in Canada.
Huge estate.
Yeah.
So there's so many places they could film on that.
Yeah, and I don't think like on estates like that a lot of the time there's not anything like really close by to like go pop out for dinner.
Yes.
So it seems like they just like brought the restaurant to them. Mm-hmm. So they're all standing at a table that is like definitely a little like cafe table. It's not big enough for 4 people to stand around. And Barbie, the ever shit starter, is like, So, guys, who were you immediately attracted to when you first came to the house?
And as expected, her date, Jacob, would say, "You, Barbie, I thought you were very attractive," which is the best thing to say on a date.
Absolutely,
I
but
thought you were
here's
the
the
best.
problem.
Our poor Chris, who's on a date with Crystal,
Also said Barbie.
said Barbie.
Oh my God, you can't. Now, Barbie also said Chris.
Yes.
So when the question was to her, she was like, "Oh,
I'm
Chris
into
was
Chris.
like Chris was the first one off the boat," and she used that as an excuse, so it wasn't as bad.
Absolutely.
She was like, "Well, Chris was the first one off the boat, and he was definitely catching my eye, whatever." So I'm
sense.
like, "Okay, you probably shouldn't say it because already Crystal they like cut to her confessional, and she's like, get off my date, get on yours."
Yeah.
You know,
Like, why are you talking about my man?
come on now. But it was a little more understandable than Chris saying it to Barbie.
Right in front of, he's standing next to Crystal. Crystal's in between Barbie and him, and he says, Barbie?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And part of me is like, did he just latch onto the opportunity that Barbie said him? So
Yeah.
he's like, oh, I'm also into you, Barbie.
But like wild. You've got Crystal right there.
Yes.
And you know we love Crystal. But it does seem like, I don't know, I feel like on every reality show, there's like the person who is like the chosen one of the house that like everybody
Yes.
wants. And then it becomes also a little bit of like a status thing
yes.
to be the person that the one everyone wants. So I feel like Barbie is already that. Everybody, like they had a cutaway scene where they showed like the guys talking to each other and they were like, Barbie's like the one,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like Barbie's
That's
the one,
true.
you know?
They did have that.
So
Damn.
I don't know. It was brutal. It was not good. It was not cool to Crystal. She looked pretty bummed about it.
Oh, 100%.
I would have left.
I would be. Well, would I have stayed for the free food? Well, wait, it's all free. I'm
It's all
dumb.
free.
It's all free. They're on a show. Everything's
Yeah.
paid for.
No.
Yeah.
The date was kind of uneventful.
Mm-hmm. I don't even
Honestly-
remember what Jacob and Barbie talked about individually.
I only remember them trying to
That's right.
Lady and the Tramp in their words, like lychee. That they like, it's like just a little wet ball that they were trying to Lady and the Tramp, which is with a noodle
Yeah.
in shape that makes a lot more sense.
But, like,
It was
Like-
just really gross.
if you don't know what that looks like, it's literally like the size of a gumball.
But so wet.
But wet and squishy. So like, how do you? He was trying to like pass it over, and like the angle they got on that was horrendous because she came from underneath him, was like, "Just give it to me!" Ah! And it looked terrible.
And like they were laughing. They looked like they were having a
yes.
good time at
Yes.
least. And I don't know. I just get the vibe that like the Brit boy was like, this is a real connection. And I'm like, I
Sure.
think Barbie is like, I am trying to get it. And that's about it. Like I think that's the thing we're gonna run into here, where he's gonna be like, is this love? And she's gonna be like, is it a girl?
Is it? Is it a grower or what?
Like I just think I think she's just there. I think that's what she's there for.
Yes. Okay. Crystal and Chris's date.
Yeah.
It was basically her going, "You've never been in love. You don't know what love is."
She asked him, she was like, when's the last time that you were in love? And he was like, I fell in love with fighting. He's an MMA fighter, which is the most like weird cop-out answer.
Absolutely.
But like, he also then, he like opens his mouth to elaborate on that. And she's like, no, with a woman.
no, like relationship. And
Yeah.
then he says something. She stops him immediately, goes, "No, I think you are in love with the idea of a relationship." And I was like, oh.
Okay, therapy.
You know what? You definitely know what you're talking about, Crystal.
Yeah. But why are you dating
But why are
20-something-year-old men then?
For sure. Why are you on the show?
I don't understand. And her confessional was like, oh, well, it's fine if like your job is the most important thing
Yes.
to you, but like not for me, not what I want, which is fine. But nothing there, it seems like.
You know, part of me, I'm a little sus that he's like a true MMA fighter. I think it's more of a hobby than a career.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. He doesn't have any cauliflower ear at all. And I'm like,
Interesting point.
I feel like when you're like, that's your career, your ears are getting fucked
I
up.
wonder how long you have to be before that. Like,
True.
I don't know how long that takes because they're all babies.
You're
They're all
right.
little.
You know what? You're so right. He's
I mean, he's
27.
the oldest. He's 27.
And maybe he just started.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give him the benefit
But
of
he
the
fell
doubt.
in love with fighting.
He fell in love with
He's never loved a
fighting.
woman, only fighting.
Damn.
Meanwhile, jealous of the dates that were happening. Actually, this does remind me, we do know who Barbie stole the date from. It was Christina, because Christina was
okay.
bitter
Yes.
that her date was stolen.
Yes.
She was bitter that Jacob was taken from her. And she's like, okay, well, I'm setting my sights on someone else. If Barbie is going to take my man, I'm going to go get a new man. And she decides to pursue the babiest of littlest wee baby boys, Joey.
Little Joey, little 21-year-old Joey.
He's 21 years old, and she comes out with like champagne and glasses. And
Very cute though. She
Yeah.
like prances out of a room, and I'm like, oh, she's
Yeah.
like excited for this.
And then she fully spikes the camera.
Dude, Christina? I love Christina.
Christina is in the office. Christina is fully in the office. She keeps looking out to the producers that are clearly on the other side, or like the camera people on the other side of it, and being like,
guys,
like what's going on here?
Did you see what just happened?
Did you see that shit? I loved it.
I
love it.
love
She does
her.
it multiple times in this episode.
Yes.
And she does it after she asks him to go to the hot tub, looks back and is like, like, you
it's
see what's happening?
happening.
You see what I'm making happen? I'm making good TV.
Really fun thing like that happened was when she asked Joey, come to the hot tub, and he was like, absolutely. He gets up immediately, not before he like daps his boys up. Like they were like, yeah, you got this. Getting into that hot tub.
Get in that hot tub. Before the true travesty of this episode happens, they all gave him a high five before he went and just truly ended it. Ended it. It was so uncomfortable, this hot tub.
And like I said earlier, they had no like lead up to this just conversation they had.
We're just in it.
Immediately he goes like, have you ever had someone bite your butt? Oh, no,
Wait. He starts with, like, are you into like really, like, what are you into sexually? Like in bed and stuff.
Oh yeah.
He clarifies. Now, if you had said in bed and then you went, well, sexually, but okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he said sexually, like, well, in bed.
Okay.
He's never talked about sex before.
No. He asks if she's like more of a dominant type.
Yeah, that was it. Are you more of like a dominant type? Would you consider yourself a dominant type? And I don't even remember what her answer was.
I don't remember her answer at all.
Because I feel like they cut away and then they came back and he was like, are you into like BDSM? And she's like, I'm very into BDSM.
And she's like, I love red room stuff, whips, chicks, you got it.
She was like, I like some freaky shit. In her confessional, she is like getting a little bit specific
I
about
think you
her
can
love
tell.
for it. Like, I believe her.
So into it.
I believe her. I don't believe that Joey has ever participated in a B, a D, an S, or an M. Not in one of them.
Not a single one of them.
Not one letter, baby, on the alphabet. Because immediately following the BDSM question, he says, both of us have to do the face. Has anyone ever bit your butt?
She goes, huh? I don't think so.
And he was like, I would like to bite your butt. And it's the most like rabid, weird look that he is giving her. He is talking out of the side of his face and eyes.
Yeah.
And tilted
Eyes
down
are wide.
in a way that is so feral. It is so like she is prey in that moment, but for an alien. It doesn't make any sense. It gets so freaky. It gets like so scary.
To me, I took a seminar last year on how to look at women when I talk to them.
And got it so wrong.
I got it so wrong.
Completely misunderstood
You know,
it.
underneath their chair, in their goodie bags at the seminar was a mirror. And they're
Right.
like, everyone take out your mirror. Let's practice together.
And he's been trying it ever since. And this was his first chance to do it to a real woman. And it did not land.
It didn't land.
It did not land. That TikTok trend that was like here's how to make a guy like you, and it was like look down, look up with your eyes, smile, and it was that. It looked like that. It looked like all the people who were doing like the joke.
Oh no!
But he was so fucking serious.
He definitely got it from
so
TikTok.
for real.
Wasn't even a seminar. It was a TikTok.
It was worse. But he probably said he went to a seminar. Like when people are like, I just read this, and really they watched a TikTok.
You watched a TikTok.
You watched a TikTok about it, and that's okay. Freaky little look, and then she's like, all right. She stands up and she's like, okay, bite my butt.
Yeah. My favorite part of this edit though was right after he said, "Can I bite your butt?" It goes straight to a confessional, and he's like, "You ask a woman that, 100% of the time they're gonna say yes to letting you bite their butt."
He says it as if it is like a base.
Law. It's like law to
Yeah.
him. Like
It's like as if it is one of the bases.
Yes.
Or like an act. Like, I want to be very clear. It's not like he's not talking about like eating ass. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's literally just talking about a little like chomp, on the cheek, a little chomp on the cheek is what he's talking about. But he talks about it as if it is its own sexual act, and it really is not. It is not a step along the way. It is not one of the bases. It is not something like BDSM.
No.
And
I mean, like, it could be a part of foreplay and just, like, overall just tension, but, like...
it just happens.
It just, exactly.
You don't say, has anyone ever bit your butt?
Yeah. She says, go ahead, stands up in the hot tub, and he just goes right in there.
Yeah, he just
he,
bites
like,
a little cheek.
cups her cheek.
Yeah.
It's like taking a bite out of a cupcake.
Yeah, it's like before you get a shot.
Yes.
At the doctor. Yeah, like...
they fatten you up for the syringe to go. Wait, that's really...
So he could get a good nibble
chunk.
on it.
And then during that, our girl Christina eyeing the producers. I was like, do you see what's happening right now?
Yeah.
And he sits back and like this, like, I did it.
He has that like, was that good for you?
Was that good?
Did you?
No, but it's like with the eyes wide. He's like,
Yeah.
Did you?
I hated it. And her reaction is like nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of nothing. She's like, okay.
Oh my God. Wait, I remember. She literally goes, that's insane. I'm like, what do you mean? You have nothing to say.
Nothing.
That's what girls say when they have nothing else to say. That's insane.
That was nothing.
That was insane.
That was nothing. Christina. And then she
Yes.
like in the confessional was like, I'd let him bite my
butt
butt again. Like, okay.
And then they made out in the hot tub.
They did. It was not hot.
Oof, not hot.
It was not hot.
Dude, you could have gotten that hot tub to 150 degrees. It still felt freezing.
Still too cold. I don't know. I watch very closely when people make out on reality shows, like their technique.
Yes.
Like I'm watching to see if they're a good kisser or
Yes.
not, and I'm trying to determine it without ever having to kiss this person.
For sure.
And I'm gonna vote no on him.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I wasn't looking at that, but I will start.
Oh, I'm always looking. I am judging whether or not someone is a good kisser every single time there is a kiss on TV.
For me, I only clock if there's like tongue or no tongue. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't like check technique or like how open their mouth is, or, you know.
I'm watching. I'm watching. I'm really trying to observe.
I don't think I can do that.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I see tongue, I'm like, ah,
yeah, it's gross.
Away.
No, it's not pleasant. I don't recommend this life.
Yeah,
but I want to know. I want to judge.
For sure.
Yeah,
I get you.
You know, like
Why
I really
not?
do. I want to add it to their profile. You know what I mean? Like when we're thinking about all the different guys, where you're like, yeah, okay,
Yes.
well, he's this and he's that, and he's but he's like not a good
kisser.
kisser.
This is Joey.
Like, he
He's
kisses
21.
kind of gross. Because a lot of men kiss gross on TV.
Absolutely.
Like specifically on television.
Especially
for
this
some
man's
reason.
21. I don't know how much practice he's gotten
I don't.
with like
Not
other people who
much.
could kiss well.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And I don't think he's gotten much at all.
No.
His vibe is not much at all,
No.
for sure. But that's pretty much the end of that. We see them make out for a little while, and then
I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
and then I think it's just the next day. That's when
Yeah.
they're talking about the breakfast thing.
that's when they say the like weird, sneaky little misogyny about young women. And it's one of those things where you get into where it's like, well, why do women in their 20s not want to date men in their 20s? And then like most older women, that's the reason that this is a niche reality show, is because most older women also don't want to date men in their 20s.
Yes.
It's because of shit like this.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, yeah, they're like, girls our age are so bad. We don't like them. And it's like, yeah, we know. Trust me, we know. We're well aware. And that whole conversation leads to the big reveal, doesn't it?
Yes. Basically, just they're having like such a minor conversation. You can tell through the edit that it doesn't matter what they're talking
Yeah.
about. Cars pull up. Shoes are coming out. Feet
Yeah.
are coming out of the cars. You're like, oh, is that their sons?
I
Is that their sons?
feel like we immediately clock that these are older men by them having like really nice shoes, though.
They have like fitting pants.
Yeah.
Nice shoes.
Yeah.
You're like, they know how to dress themselves.
That is not a young man
That
looking
is
for a MILF.
not a young man.
That is a father.
Yes.
That's a father figure.
There's also one father in crutches.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor man.
He
Probably just happened.
It must have just happened. He was already signed up for the show and was like,
I'm still
I'm
coming
going.
on.
Don't worry, I'm going. I can't wait to hear what happened. I bet he has some kind of like, I was surfing You know what I mean? Like
something
these
cool.
seem like dads who like hike and surf and shit.
I would love if they're like someone cool, and then there's just like a woman who loves taking care of men. So she's like, oh my gosh, let me help you with your crutches. I'll help you up the stairs. Let me help you get in bed. Ooh.
The dads are hot.
The dads are hot.
The dads are hot.
Unfortunate for their sons.
Truly. We were talking about this because I was like, I feel like it would be much more effective. And I get you got to get the reveal in the first episode. So, like,
Yes.
I understand you got to get the reveal in the first episode. But I feel like it would be a lot more effective in, like, the challenge for everybody if the women had spent a little more time getting to connect with the young guys. Because I just feel like there's no way that these guys hold a candle to, like, grown men. And it's going to be like, oh, okay, that seems like such an easy decision for me. But I will say, I'm not a cougar. I'm not a MILF.
Yes.
So I'm like, I can't speak for them because they are there because they do like younger men. But I see that and I'm like, why would you choose these younger men?
And I would pick their dads any day.
I would pick their dads any day. I'll pick their dads today. Like, come on now. Very strange. But yeah, if they had been like in the position where it's like, I don't know. We saw last season that it was like really hard for them to like build connections with these young men. So I'm like, if they had gotten to the point where it was like, okay, well, this is a significant connection that I've made, but also there's a man here my age that's very handsome. That's kind of fun.
That is fun.
But we've not seen a lot of connections. So everybody's kind of like on a level playing field of like, we all just met today. So it's not like they're really going to come in and break up anything serious.
Yeah.
You know? Like the daughters did. Like the
That's
daughters
so
last
true.
season came in when shit was already serious between people. And it was like, oh my God, is this going to like tear them apart?
Yeah, and it did, obviously, because those men were into older women. They're into women their age. So they're like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Bye, mom.
Yeah. Which like Paula and her daughter, to be fair, were both beautiful women.
Beautiful.
And
but oof, what happened?
What happened? But that's last season. Don't worry about last season. If you guys do want a recap of last season, let us know. And that could be something we do as a little like bonus piece of content for like the Patreon or something. I don't know. We'll see. So all of the men come in. Let's just like give a quick name and age of all the men.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I'll give you whose dad they are, name and age. So, Christopher's dad is Michael, 51.
Ooh.
Do we want to read their bios?
Do they have bios?
Oh, they've got bios already.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
A quick
So we
read.
haven't seen anything about them yet, but
this is
Michael
exciting.
is a laid-back guy with a penchant for being friendly to pretty much anyone. Michael also has 5 kids, all sons, and he's ready to finally focus on himself. Okay.
Wait, what was exciting about this is these women kept mentioning their multiple children.
Yeah.
And they're like a lot of them kept mentioning multiple sons. So
Yeah.
like who really knows what happens?
I know. I'm like, their sons can't also show up, right?
Yeah, right?
And Michael, hot
Hot
dad.
So into you. He's
Hot
like
dad.
the salt and pepper beard, salt
Yeah.
and pepper hair.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
And it makes sense. He's the one with like the very handsome son.
Yes.
So like, yeah, okay. We've got Ashley, who is 54. This is our Britt Jacobs' dad. I'm going to refer to him as the Brit every single time because otherwise he's just another generic white boy.
100%.
Jacob's dad, Ashley, got divorced 9 months ago. Oh, it's fresh. Hey, everybody.
When did they cast this? Wait.
When was this bio written?
When was this bio written? When
Yeah,
was it
y'all
cast?
don't go for the fresh divorce.
No.
Don't do it.
You never do.
Do not do it. Jacob's dad Ashley got divorced 9 months ago after a 24-year marriage. Whether he is truly ready to jump back into the dating pool for a long-term relationship or not, he's ready to put himself out there again.
Oh my gosh.
All right. How do we feel about Ashley?
I think he's okay. He looks so generic Brit.
He is a little generic. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of, he's not a very memorable looking man, but he's a handsome man.
This man's not ready.
No. 9 months after a 24-year marriage? No.
Not ready.
And if he is, I also don't want it.
I hope it's like officially legally 9 months
Maybe.
divorce.
And then they were like, ooh, that sounds a little inflammatory. That's fun for us as a reality TV show.
Mhm.
We've got Anthony, who is 54. That is Joey's dad. Not our most handsome, but I think he's going to be such a playboy.
I think this is, I don't know if I'm right, but in the show, the man in crutches was wearing blue. He's wearing blue here.
It might
Maybe
be
it's
him. Yeah, because they didn't give us like a lot of info on them. We read his bio earlier. He's like lived all over the globe.
He looks it.
He's been divorced for 7 years. I think he is going to be such a playboy.
He's going to be fun.
Yeah.
He's going to be fun for our ladies.
Yeah. We've got Stacy, who is 54. Stacy looks ripped.
Okay, Stacy looks ripped.
Mhm.
Miles is
Miles
is his
dad.
son
Mhm.
is attractive.
Yeah.
And like you can tell that like he is not like as toxic as the other men
Yeah.
so far.
So far.
And I feel like you can see that in his dad's photo.
Yeah.
Stacy looks like a nice gentleman.
Right. Miles is the vegan chef.
Oh,
Which is not to be
yes!
confused because randomly Joey, who it says like what they do, it says that Joey is an event coordinator, and again he's 21 years old. I don't even think that's old enough to be a chef legally. I don't know. I feel like it's like you can't be a
Yeah.
chef until you can rent a car.
Around breakfast, they're like, anyone can cook? He goes, I'm a chef.
Meanwhile, Miles actually a chef.
I'd be like, Joey, are you a chef at like a Taco Bell?
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
right. If I was Miles, would be like, I'll let him cook.
Let him cook.
I'll do
Let
it.
him cook.
No, that'll be fun.
We'll see what he
It's
does.
okay, I'll cook the next one.
I'm so sorry. I'm hating on Joey so much, but there's just so much about him.
I'm sorry, he's really hateable. Okay, Stacy got divorced a few years ago after a 15-year-long marriage. So that definitely means that it's probably not Miles' mother, probably a second marriage, I would assume. However, he is ready to find his next the one. What a weird way to phrase that. And settle down with someone new in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
I like that. He's gonna
How
take
old
this
is
seriously.
Miles again?
Miles is 24.
Okay, yeah. Well, if they were together for 15 years
Yeah, that's not long enough.
and then they're divorced for 7, it's not long enough unless
oh, wait, no.
they got pregnant right before they got married. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They got, yeah.
Or did they split up right after he was born? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I forgot about the 7 years, in addition to that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Still
No,
not old
this one
enough,
wasn't
though.
7 years. This one is just a few years ago.
Oh,
7 years was the
few
last
years.
one.
Okay, I think it's
So
not his
I think it's
mom.
not his mom.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Sam's father, Darren, who is 57.
You know? They don't look alike to me.
They don't look alike, but they do both look like kind of, like he's just a guy.
Yeah.
Right?
They're just guys in the
Darren
business.
is just as confident as his son. However, his marriage ended and his engagement after that ended. He found himself alone yet again. Now he's here to find a woman to grow old with. That is, if Sam doesn't woo her first. I don't think we have to worry about that.
I don't know if Sam. We just haven't seen a lot of Sam.
We
so there's
haven't.
nothing we can like say about his dad.
Yeah.
Nothing we can say about him.
So let's make some predictions for this season.
Okay.
Okay. Going off of it, Barbie.
Oh my gosh. I think Barbie is gonna try to get every man to be into her.
Yeah.
And she just has the pickings.
I don't think she's going to leave with anybody. Seriously.
I don't think so either. Barbie has never been married.
Yeah.
That we found out in the episode.
We did.
So that's very exciting.
Yeah.
And is she ready to settle down? She doesn't seem like a person who settles down to me.
She doesn't seem like a person who settles down, and I don't think if she were to settle down, it would be with one of these boys,
I do think though, if she had to pick and give us a good show, she's always going to go with a younger man.
Yeah. I think that she is going to cause a lot of trouble. I think that people are going to get really upset with that behavior of her needing everyone to like her.
Yes.
I think that's going to be a quality that people come to resent. Some of the other MILFs are probably going to not dig that. But I think she's going to do a damn good season of TV.
Oh, absolutely. She's the one that's going to get all the deals afterwards.
Yeah, she is. She's going to get all the Instagram followers.
Yes.
Christina is going to continue to be in a 3-camera sitcom.
100%. She's here to have fun.
Yeah.
Just to be on show.
Yeah.
And like,
I think
do her
she
thing.
genuinely wants one of these men. She immediately, once hers was
yeah.
taken, went and got another. I think she does genuinely want like a little boyfriend.
100%.
I think she wants a little boyfriend.
I think she wants like a little show fling.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Do you think she wants a boyfriend after the show from one of these boys?
It depends on who the boy is, I think. Like,
Do you think she's looking for an actual boyfriend?
I would like to think she's looking for a boyfriend to have fun with until she decides, I think I actually want to settle down again. You know?
Yeah. I think she's looking for a boyfriend. I think that she's looking for
Ooh.
her actual boyfriend.
I love that.
Crystal.
I think Crystal is the one that just has her shit together.
Mhm.
And I do think she's going to always just butt heads with somebody. It doesn't always have to be Barbie.
Yeah.
I think it's just,
I think it can be the boys. I think it could be a
Yeah.
lot of people.
I think she just has her shit together so much.
Yeah.
That
I think she's too good for the show.
I think she's too good for the show until she tells us otherwise.
Yeah, we're only
So
one episode
exciting.
in. Us eating our words in 3 episodes.
Yes. But I'm
yeah.
rooting for her.
I'm also rooting for her. I don't see her taking anybody's shit here.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to lead to her maybe not connecting with anybody.
can almost see her being a little too serious when it
Yeah.
comes to dating, that it almost ruins the experience for whoever's trying to date her.
Yeah, I could totally see
you
that in this setting especially.
Yes.
Up next, we have Jamie.
Oh, Jamie. I think she's in the running for also trying to be like a really fun party girl.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's in a fun way or a toxic way.
I know, right? Yeah, I feel like Jamie is going to be like, well, this isn't going immediately how I planned. I simply have to get drunker.
Yeah.
The solution
Yeah.
is to get more drunk.
Get drunk. Every
That's the
time she's
vibe.
in a confessional, though, she seems so nice and fun.
Yeah.
But then when during interactions, it's like, I don't know.
I predicted her as like a party problem in the beginning, and we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Kelly, I think, is going to be really intense. She is really intense.
I think she's really intense. I think she's not picky, but I
Yeah.
think she knows exactly what she's looking for.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's here to have fun.
No, I think she's
Or
trying to get one of
just-
these men to marry her.
Yeah, I think she is. I actually think she's here
Yeah.
to find a boyfriend.
Yeah. I think that she is not she's gonna be like, okay, no, come on, to the point though.
Yes.
Like, let's do this.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's probably gonna be very intimidating for a young boy.
She's going to be serious about somebody. They're going to do something weird or fucked up. And she's
Yeah.
like, hey, we need to talk because that was weird.
Yeah.
And then he's going to go, we've only been here for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, okay, and?
Yeah.
Who cares? Are you not trying to be my boyfriend or what?
Figure it
I'm
out.
trying to find a hubby here.
You smell good.
You smell good, unlike your father, who smells old.
Lynette.
I don't know anything about Lynette.
I think Lynette goes home.
Ooh.
I think that when somebody gets, voted off the island
Yes.
for not making a connection, it's going to be Lynette. That's my prediction.
Ugh, yeah, I mean,
Kind
we
of coming
just
for
know
nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So
But-
it makes a lot of sense. They didn't prep us for anything when it comes to Lynette.
Yeah. I don't think Kelly ends up with an older man. I don't think
Mm-mm.
I could see Crystal ending up with one of the
I can
fathers.
100%.
Ooh, that'd be
I
fun.
can see Crystal ending up with Chris's father.
Oh my God,
I
hope
would
she
love that.
dies. I hope she dies.
Yeah,
They'd
and
look
then
really cute.
and then in the future, her and Chris's father are just in bed or just watching TV, and then one day she goes, "I licked maple syrup off your son's neck." He goes, "Wait, okay, we gotta stop right there."
Okay. Do you have to bring that up right now?
Yeah, every time they
Uh.
make pancakes in the morning, she thinks about that.
Yep. She doesn't even mention it, but she just licks it off of a spoon, and he has war flashbacks of watching the episode.
But every time she licks it, she takes a lick, and then she just keeps going, and it just gets longer, more intense licks. And you're like, "Honey, are you okay?"
And she's totally imagining. She's also having flashbacks. It's just in
I
a different
can't.
direction. I don't care enough about the boys to make predictions on them. This is the women's show.
Yeah.
This is the MILF's show.
Here's my one prediction.
Let's go.
I think there's going to be one father who's there for his son and is trying to get his son to hook up with somebody.
Ooh,
I don't know who.
Oh my God. Okay,
It
wait.
might I don't know who. It might be the Brits. But I think that they're really
Oh.
trying. I think someone is going to be the wing man for his son.
I'm going to say if it's somebody, it's Anthony and Joey. I think
Ooh.
Anthony, who is going to be the playboy of the season, is already going to have his pick of the women and then going to be like, let me
Yeah.
throw a softball to my son. Let me help him out.
I can see
Let
that
me
with
show him a
Joey.
little bit of my moves.
Yeah. Oh my God. And it's definitely more of a teaching moment
Yeah.
than I'm here to compete with you, son. I'm better than you. It's let me show you why your dad's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you're going to do these moves and it's going to prove to you why.
Let me show you why dad gets it.
Why dad gets
Overall, this episode was absolutely disgusting.
it. It really was.
This was a really gross and icky start of a gross show that I love so much.
Yes. I can't believe they started with the maple syrup challenge.
We have already seen more everything this one single episode than
Whew.
all of last season.
We saw so much more of the men than I ever wanted to.
Truly. I hope we never get that close up to anybody's junk
We
ever again on the show.
definitely are.
Unfortunate.
I don't know how we are, but we definitely are.
Genuinely unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I'm all in. I love this.
Do you know what we didn't see that was like a big deal in last season?
What?
The sleeping,
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess it was a big deal because last season, all of the MILFs were sharing a room initially with their own sons. So in order for them to want to go to sleep with somebody, they would either have to go into the boy's room with his mom or kick like their son out of their room and have him in.
Yes.
So there was a lot about that, but we did see like a night go by and the sleeping arrangements weren't talked about at all.
It wasn't.
Like at all.
Except for there was like a sign that said like RILFI.
Honestly, wait. We should get a sign for
Oh my God!
We should get a
it.
Wilfie sign. So they walked up to it and were like,
What is this?
and it's
You know?
room I'd like to fuck in. And you just know that initially they were like, oh my God, we should call it the RILF. That'd be so funny. And then somebody was like, the room I'd like to fuck? You want to fuck the room?
Pod I'd like to fuck in.
Pilf.
Pilfy.
We're going to make our own sign for the set. But yeah, I was so surprised that they didn't show. That means like nobody tried to like sleep together.
Yes. And
And
I don't know if there's
hooking
anything.
up.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything like big when it comes to sleeping arrangements this season.
But even then, like on a regular, like Love Island or something, you know what I mean? You see people be like, oh, it's a big deal of like people who just go
Yes.
sleep in the same room.
Yes.
And I'm surprised that nobody tried to like even like cuddle up.
Maybe it'll be next episode.
Maybe, yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
I'm like, one night has gone by and maybe they were like, maybe that's also part of it. They're like separate rooms for the first night,
Yes.
everybody, until everybody gets here. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm very curious because we have not seen anybody. I feel like if I don't know. I feel like there has to be some kind of thing because I feel like Christina would have been trying to follow Joey to his room.
Absolutely.
I feel like she'd have been trying to get in that bed.
At least, if anything, Joey was like, I will follow you.
Yeah.
If you let me.
Yes. I will
bite your
anything.
butt. I will follow you.
Both of us have to do the eyes at the same time every time.
If you want me to follow you into that room, I'll totally bite your butt again. Just
Breathing.
Oh my
heavily.
gosh, yeah, she's like in the kitchen. This is after the bite butting thing. The bite butting. The butt biting thing.
Yeah.
And he just goes ahead and slaps her ass. In the
Unbelievable.
kitchen.
In the
Ugh.
kitchen. The way I would slap him back.
Get the fuck away from me.
Who do you think this is?
I keep cussing too much, my bad.
No, I have to too.
I can't help it. Like,
Who do you think this is?
we're in the kitchen. I'm making avocado toast.
Show a little respect.
And he-
Show a little respect to your elders. Respect your mother, boy. Anyways, that was the first episode of season 2 of Milf Manor and
Yes.
the first episode of the podcast. We did it.
We did it.
We are watching the episodes as they come out. We are planning to recap every other episode because I feel like the first episode is the most eventful, and then from there it's nice to like condense it a little bit. But we'll
Yes.
see.
Yes.
We're gonna recap both episodes in every episode, no matter what, and we'll see if we break it apart into 2 or 1
Yes.
episodes. I haven't decided how I'm gonna edit it yet, but
That's okay.
feel free to let us know what you'd like to see and how much of this you want to get. But we will be watching episodes at least every other week in our Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, it is free to do. And we have a little live chat going while we do it, so we can talk to you all and get your opinions on it. And we'll share some of your opinions on the show if you want to come and watch along. Very cool. For people that are not familiar, where else are you on the internet? What's your deal?
You can find me at Kendelle Lynn anywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I make like theme park content, and I'm like gonna make some content where I follow cool people around and see what they do all day.
Very exciting. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I make I don't even know what anymore. A little bit of
I
everything.
know, that's how I feel
It's a little bit of
too.
everything at this point. You can also check out patreon.com/Pixel Circus to support the independent network that puts us on. It's how we have a nice little studio to record in. And we appreciate that very much. You get cool bonus perks. And I'm sure there will be bonus things from this podcast coming up on it at some point. And that's it for today. Let us know your predictions for the season. Let us know who your favorite MILF is so far.
Who's
or
your favorite MILF right now?
Ooh, Crystal.
Ooh.
Barbie. Crystal. I'm gonna say Crystal.
I like Christine right now.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
love that. I do love her.
Right?
Yeah, I love her vibe.
And then we both know we both hate Joey, so
Yeah, truly, that's also the least
Yeah.
favorite this
I
season
won't
so
say
far.
hate. You're gonna surprise us, and it's gonna be so great, Joey.
I hope you do, but I don't believe in you. I think Crystal is my favorite just right now because I think that she is the most sane seeming person in it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Which is not like the best entertainment. I think Barbie's going to be the best entertainment. I think Christine is going to be the best entertainment. But I do enjoy Crystal feels like she's going to be, I don't know, like somebody that grounds everything where I'm like, I'm not losing my mind, right? Like this is unhinged.
Yes.
But also we can count on Christina to look to camera when something ridiculous is happening.
gonna be
So
so
she'll be our
good.
little audience surrogate. But we would love to hear what you think so
please tell
far.
us.
And we would love to see you next time. And that's it, friends.
Thank you. Bye. It's like Milf Manor out.
MILFs out.
Wait, I feel like we should have something stupid like that.
I love it.